guys, welcome back. I have been meaning to film this video for such a long time and I finally have enough energy to share with you guys my rhinoplasty nose job experience in Turkey, Istanbul. If you're watching this video, you probably are thinking of getting a nose job done in Turkey yourself, or maybe you're just curious about it. So in this video, I will tell you everything about my experience, the cost, what surgeon I went to, how I picked my doctor, questions you should ask in the consultation with your doctor, the recovery, the surgery itself, pain, anything you need to know. This is gonna be kind of like a beginner's guide to a nose job because I've had 3 nose jobs by now, so I kind of have learned a lot of things throughout the way. So this video is gonna be especially beneficial and helpful to anyone who's getting their first nose job. And I'm also gonna answer some of the most popular questions that you guys had on Instagram. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I got my nose job in Turkey, Istanbul with Dr. Alpaslan Yildirim. He is an amazing doctor, one of the top 3 nose job doctors in Turkey in general. And he specializes specifically on ethnic noses and revision rhinoplasties. And I really think he was the best fit for me, not only by looking at his Instagram pictures, but also because of his qualifications. Also, I'm Italian. This was my 3rd nose job, so it just aligned the best with me and what I was looking for. I actually found him on Instagram after looking up about like 30 nose doctors in Turkey, so it was definitely like a full extended research. Of course, he was one of the easiest to find because he had such a big following, but it's actually pretty easy to find nose doctors in Turkey. Here's a few of the most famous ones that I was leaning on to before actually deciding Alpaslan. If you want to do your own research and find your own doctors, it's actually really easy. All you have to do is just go on one of these doctors' Instagram profiles, look at the people they're following, and you're gonna see a full list of doctors because all these doctors are friends with each other and they follow each other. One thing that you will notice when looking through all these surgeons' pictures and Instagram profiles is that they kind of have the same style of noses, and by that I mean that they will give you a very snatched, upturned, small, very perfect, straight bridged nose. And that was just what I loved about the Turkish style of noses, because I had 2 rhinoplasties in Italy, so Europe. I just noticed that UK, US, European doctors just have a very much more natural look, and that means that they're not going to revolutionize your nose completely. It means that they're going to keep the general shape, so it's going to be your nose but better. And I didn't want that because I had that for my 2 rhinoplasties. What I wanted was a snatched, very small, barely breathable nose, kind of like Barbie doll, and that's why I went to Turkey. I personally got the package deal. So basically what that means is that for £5,000 I got an all-included deal. So basically 7 nights at the hotel. I also got 1/2 nights at the hospital if needed. All the medicine was included, surgery. I also have a private driver that picked me up from the airport, took me to the hotel, to the hospital, back to the airport. It's gonna make your trip that much easier and worry-free, just because after the surgery you will not want to think about all this stuff. But I want to specify this was specifically the price for me. So since I had 2 rhinoplasties already, this was a revision, it was gonna cost more. If this is gonna be your first rhinoplasty, then it's gonna cost around 4,000 with Dr. Alpaslan. Also depending on what your skin thickness is and how challenging the nose job is gonna be. But I also know that other doctors, they were gonna quote you like 2,000 to 3,000 pounds or dollars, whatever. It really just depends. There is gonna be a doctor for you, for what you like, and for your budget as well. By the way, speaking of the package deal, if you want to see my full vlog experience from landing at Istanbul airport to flying back home and the recovery process, just how I was feeling, the surgery, I actually made a vlog for you guys that I really think is going to be very helpful for you to watch. So as soon as you're done watching this, make sure you subscribe to the bell icon so you can then go on and watch that video as well. Anyways, because I already made the vlog, I'm going to skip directly to my nose consultation, because if you want to see the full journey, you can watch the vlog. I'm going to give you some tips on how to get the most out of your consultation, what you should prepare, what you need to tell the doctor, what questions you need to ask the doctor. First, I actually recommend that you show your doctors some pictures of noses that you like, but not in general. Like, I'm not saying Kylie Jenner's nose, I love that, I want that stuck on my face. No, that's not how it works. What you want to do instead is go in the doctor's Instagram profile and start looking at noses that they did. You want to see the ones that you like the most and you think they're gonna suit you, the style that you want, the slopeness, the definition of the tip. When looking at the nose, by the way, you want to make sure that it's your same ethnicity, so don't be looking at black girls if you're white and vice versa. Also keep in mind your skin thickness. So if you have thick skin, don't be looking at thin skin noses because you will never be able to achieve that. You also then can go the extra step and actually Photoshop some pictures that you have of yourself. So that's what I did. So these are the pictures that I showed him. This was the side view and the front view. The front view was very botched, very badly made, but it's just to give you very much an idea of the width of the nose, how tiny it when it did and whatever. So after you have these two types of pictures, you can do an extra step. This is optional, but that is going to be getting informed and studying the actual structure of your nose. So you want to study how nose jobs are performed. Are you going to want an open rhinoplasty, a closed rhinoplasty? Are you want your nostrils cut to make them smaller? Do you have a deviated septum? Do we need to fix that? So that way you can tell your doctor and let him know so that you're just on the same page. Maybe the muscles on your nose are very active, so that means that when you smile or when you laugh, your nose crunches up. That's what happened with me. Look how ugly it looked, and I wanted that fixed. So I basically told my doctor, please cut the muscles in the nose. Unless you tell your doctor this, unless you know about these things, your doctor won't do that because he's not going to randomly cut muscles on your nose just because he thinks it's good. Another thing that you will notice while scrolling through pictures of nose jobs specifically done by Turkish doctors, very often have two holes or two red scars, red dots right here at the base of the nose. And when you see that, that's a sign of a percutaneous osteotomy. So what it is, it's basically they're gonna fracture your bone from each side of the nose, and then they're basically gonna cinch it in like a waist trainer to make it smaller. Because for me, for my first two nose jobs, I did not get an osteotomy because it's not that common here in Europe. Anyways, after you know all these things, I really suggest that you jot them down on a piece of paper, on the notes on your phone, because you're gonna rehearse a full entire speech to tell him the doctor so you don't miss anything. So of course I was really happy with the consultation with Dr. Alpaslan. He knew exactly what I wanted already before I told him. He just knew in his head what he wanted to do on my nose, which perfectly aligned to what I wanted to do with my nose. And also, he was not rushing me in any way. He was like so calming, he was so kind, so attentive to what I was telling him. I was really feeling as if he was really listening to what I was saying and my concerns. And he was just so nice the full entire time. I also got Botox and fillers. So I got cheek fillers, chin filler, a little bit of nasolabial filler, forehead filler, and Botox, just because it's cheaper in Turkey as well. He was so good for that as well. I got 5 ml of Voluma and the Botox, and it cost me around 1,000 pounds. That is so much cheaper than what you would pay in the UK. Anyways, the day after the consultation was the surgery day. We went at the hospital at 10 a.m. in the morning, and the nurses were there ready, asking us questions, just the general questions. How much do you weigh? What's your height? Do you have any allergies? What previous surgeries have you had? It's just a routine checkup. I went in the operating room at around 11, and I came out at 12:30, 1 p.m. So it lasted about 2 hours. I came out, I don't remember anything of this, by the way. It's just a very much blurred, and I lost consciousness until like 4 p.m. I was chatting so much shit. Like, I remember seeing rainbows and a sea view, and I have no idea what was going on. But I was actually very lucky this time around because it was not feeling cold and I was not shivering. That's another side effect of the anesthesia that can sometimes happen. But it didn't happen for me, thank God, because they also took the rib cartilage from me. You can see the scar right here, and it still hurts to move now 2 weeks after surgery. So I can only imagine right after then, because the anesthesia didn't work on the rib. This is the very sensitive part. Anyways, at around 4 p.m., as I said, I gained back my consciousness, and the nurses came to give me a little bit of food. I think it was disgusting just because it didn't look the most appetizing, but I couldn't taste it. I couldn't even feel it in my mouth in a way, so it's not gonna affect you in any way. It could have even been 4 weeks off and I couldn't have tasted it. Could have had a little bit of mold growing on it. I wouldn't have noticed at all. After that, the only nice nurse, and I'm saying only for a reason, I will tell you about that later on. Ooh, chow, that was hard. The only nice nurse came and made me walk a little bit. We had a little bit of a fashion stroll around the hospital. It's very important to walk right after surgery so to prevent blood clots and basically stimulate blood flow and circulation, so to also reduce the swelling that you're gonna get. So even during recovery, make sure that you walk a lot. It's also very important to pee, because peeing, it's a sign of actually expelling and pulling out of your body all the anesthesia and all the bad effects of it. So even if you don't feel like peeing, please force yourself. My other friend, she also got surgery with me. She did not pee, she did not eat, and she did not walk, and she was feeling so bad compared to me. She was feeling worse for like the first 3 days. She was feeling nauseous, panic attacks, because she didn't do the things that you're supposed to do right after surgery. Anyways, the first night you're gonna spend at the hospital just so the nurses can check up on you. They can't check up on you. I'm saying this because the nurses were so rude to me, my friend, and my other friend. They did not take care of us. They don't know English, like not even a word, just painkiller and ice, the basics, thank God. And I mean, okay, that's fine, that's understandable. I'm traveling to a whole other country. English is not their first language, so I don't expect people to know it. But just, they were rude because when we were ringing for the help, the pushing the button of assistance, they were coming to our room, deactivating it, saying a few words in Turkish. You could tell that they were not smiling. They were kind of like pissed. And then they just went back out of our room and they did not take care of us. We asked for ice. They did not give us ice. We were asking for food. They didn't bring us anything. It was basically just a self-service thing. So what I had to do is just tough it out. If I needed painkillers, I just stood up on my bed. I went to the main desk of where the nurses were and I asked for a painkiller. I needed ice. I got out of bed and I went there and I asked. But thankfully there was one nice nurse. She was the head nurse kind of thing. She was so nice. She knew English. She was so sweet. By the way, don't worry, even if the nurses don't know English, there's gonna be a translator at the hospital just in case you need it for emergencies. Another thing is if you're going alone like I did, I thought this was gonna be an easy breezy, easy peasy kind of recovery surgery because I've been through it twice already, but it was no way near as hard as this one just because I had a lot more work done. That means that the recovery is also gonna be harder. If you're going alone, please make sure that you make friends that are also getting your surgery with you and ask the nurses to put you in the same room. That's what I did with me. So I was actually put with Jessica and I also then met Tyler, which we all had surgery on the same day so we could look after each other together and we bunked up together even at the hotel. But hey, if for some reason you can't find anyone, then actually I recommend you go follow Surgery Survivor on Instagram. She is a girl that had her rhinoplasty in Turkey. She's American and now she's living in Turkey, so she knows what you're gonna go through. So you can just call her and pay her to stay with you at the hospital for the first night. She is so kind, so nice. If you also maybe need a translator, she speaks perfect Turkish, so you can just call her. She can translate live for you on the phone or even face to face. If you need maybe any groceries, any medicine. So she's literally just like an angel, a friend, a local friend that you can rely on when you're going through surgery. She was like an essential part of mine and my friend Tyler and also Jessica's recovery. Okay, so it's day 2, it's recovery time. I have my little cute snatch nose, so do you, but now we have to take care of our noses, okay? We do not want to F it up now. So let me give you the best tips and advice for speedy, the best recovery that you can have. Number 1, eat. Even if you're not gonna feel like it, and trust me, you won't. For the first 3 days, I was not hungry at all. I couldn't even taste it, so I didn't want to eat. But again, as I said, your body needs the energy. My friend Tyler and I, we went downstairs to the restaurant at the hotel every day to eat. We forced ourselves. We started slowly to gain our energy so much faster than our friend Jessica, who didn't eat at all because she wasn't feeling like it and she didn't want to force herself to eat. Second, you want to drink a lot of water and pineapple juice. Pineapple juice specifically contains an enzyme which is called bromelain, but it basically is going to help you a lot with the swelling and the bruising. So I remember I was drinking 1 liter of pineapple juice a day. And again, we didn't go to the supermarket to buy it. We asked Surgery Survivors. Tip number 3 is ice packs are going to be your best friend. What I recommend is that you steal some ice packs from the hospital, like the blue rectangular ones that you can put on your forehead. Steal them because even though they are going to give you some, they're really small. Ice 3 times a day. I also recommend when you're grabbing lunch or dinner, you want to ask to the hotel reception or the lobby for some ice packs because they can give them to you and you can just soothe your face while you're eating. You're going to get really hot when you're standing up like in a sitting position and there's warm food and you're eating warm food. You're really gonna get hot. Tip number 4 is also quite obvious, but for the first 2 nose jobs I didn't do that, but that is gonna be, please follow the advice the doctor gives you. So if he says to spray your nose 4 times a day, please stick to it, stick to the schedule and do it, just because it's gonna melt down all the mucus a lot faster and it's gonna make you feel less congested because you're literally gonna have so much mucus like in the forehead, in the nose. You're gonna feel mucus right here in your ears. So the nasal sprays, even if a little bit uncomfortable, they're gonna help a lot. So make sure you do that 4 times a day. Now finally, a few do's and don'ts of the recovery process. Do not rip out the stitches in your nose. I know this sounds crazy, but I did it. I know people who did that. I literally took a tweezer, I went into my nose and I started ripping the stitches out of my nose because I just didn't like them. That is really bad because you could really compromise the results of your nose. You can loosen up the skin, you can loosen up or bend the shape of the cartilage and the way the stitches were, and that is really going to affect the outcome of your surgery. Another thing that I was worried about during recovery was sneezing, blowing blowing my nose and coughing. You don't have to worry about that. I would say for the first 5 days, try as much as you can to stay away from that. But after day 5, you can definitely blow your nose, you can cough, you can sneeze. I also want to say this, don't worry if you happen to sneeze or cough, you will not damage the outcome and the results of your nose. The nose is a very strong structure. It's bone, it's cartilage. Just by sneezing like a chew or coughing, you will not damage the nose, okay? When doctors tell you please stay away from sneezing, coughing, it's just because you can actually cause more swelling, you could cause a little bit of bleeding. It's nothing too serious. Of course, try not to blow your nose and to cough, but if you have to, then do it like Make sure you don't keep it in and don't put any pressure in the nose. When it comes to pain of this surgery, I would say honestly on a scale of 1 to 10, it was a 3. I've had worse surgeries. I think arguably liposuction is worse because you have the drainage, you can't move your body, whereas this, you really have a lot of mobility. It's just a little bit of pain on the nose. I did it 3 times, so clearly it's not that painful at all. Otherwise, I would have been done with 1 already, and I was like, ciao, even though I don't like my nose, I'm gonna keep it this way because I cannot go through surgery again. It was so painful. No. Also, another thing that happened for me is that my cast was coming off or getting loose sooner than we thought so cast removal day was scheduled on day 6, the day that I was actually flying back home. But since the cast was coming off on day 4/day 5, we decided to take it off and put a new one on day 5. If that happens, don't worry at all. It's not bad in any way. Like, it doesn't mean that your nose is gonna fall off or it's gonna damage. Actually, it's kind of a good sign because it means that the swelling in the nose is going off and it's going away very quickly. As far as the pain goes for cast removal and applying the new cast and also taping, he's also gonna like massage your nose and squeeze it, remove the stitches, remove the splints out of your nose because you're gonna have like 2 silicone bits right here. Pain wise, it really depends on your pain tolerance. That is gonna be the most uncomfortable thing of the surgery. I remember the first 2 surgeries, I also had splints in my nose, so like actual paper things to absorb the blood that was stuck in, so I was not able to breathe. And when they took those out, a lot of blood came out and it was really feeling like they were pulling out my brain. But with this surgery, we didn't have those splints. We had like silicone ones that were very slim, and when he took them out, I didn't feel any pain at all. But again, my other friend Jessica, she was screaming, she was about to faint because she's just a lot more sensible to pain. I'm kind of crazy, like I can get a lot of things done to my face without even flinching because I have a really high pain tolerance. I'm just like that. But yeah guys, this is it. All the tips coming from a nose job veteran, my experience, all the tips that I can give you, everything that I've learned going through this 3 times. I hope it was helpful, and honestly I feel like I told you everything. This was a long video. Also remember, I made a vlog, so if you want to see the full journey and a full experience, there's also a lot more tips that I didn't necessarily tell you in this one that I'm going to tell you in the vlog. Make sure you go watch that, and by doing that you just have to subscribe and turn the bell icon so you don't miss any more upload. There's also going to be more nose job update videos, so make sure that you join the Rhino family. We would love to have you here. We're all about beauty, plastic surgery, skincare, getting your skincare down to the T, just having a lot of fun. If this sounds like anything, make sure you join because we'd love to have you here. You can also follow me on my Instagram and on my TikTok, both of them are random. There's a lot more skincare and plastic surgery content, beauty content you want to see here, you are going to see there. So make sure you go give me a follow. We can just further on deep in the bond that I feel between us two. Excuse me ma'am, what do you think you're doing? You're not going to look at this video. What you need to do is click whatever these videos right here, just as informative, funny, entertaining, whatever this video. But while I'm doing that, remember to be random, but always random.